Okay, hi, it's Jane Brady, Chair of the Delaware Republican Party, and with me today is David Bosco, Republican candidate for Governor of Delaware. Hello there, Dave.
Hello, how are you?
Good, thanks. This is going to go out on social media. We want people to know a little more about you. Tell us a little bit about you personally.
Personally, I grew up in Newcastle, Delaware. Went to Our Lady of Fatima School for grade school, then went to Delcastle Technical High School, graduated there, and started a business back in 1991 in the city of Wilmington on Conrad Street, and moved down to Sussex County, Delaware in around 2004, 2005. So
Great.
I currently reside in Greenwood.
And what are you doing now?
Right now, I work for a large dealership, local dealership. I drive a car carrier, tractor trailer, and my wife and I own our own business.
Great. What motivated you to decide to run for governor of Delaware?
Basically, looking at what was happening with everyone else. My wife and I were fortunate enough to not be financially affected by the current events that are going on. And I started realizing what other people were going through, what other business owners were going through, and just thinking to myself, is there something I can do to make a difference? And when you start complaining about a lot of things, I just kind of thought that maybe I could do something to make a difference, make some kind of positive change for Delaware.
Great. What kinds of issues do you want to address if you're elected governor? What are your
one of my biggest issues is, and what I call the foundation for my platform, is the economic recovery from the COVID situation, basically for the people. Not as concerned, and I don't want anybody take this the wrong way, I'm not as concerned about financial recovery for the state as much as I am for the people, because of these mortgage forbearances, people taking deferments and things like that. I believe that if they're not set up correctly by the banks and by the people that were getting them, because a lot of people were taking these forbearances in a rush, and I want to make sure that they're not going to be losing their homes, that we're not going to be going through a major foreclosure, because that's going to affect the state as a whole also. Plus, Second Amendment rights. I want to make sure that we don't lose those, because it just seems like it's gradually, there's little bits and pieces that are trying to be taken away, and that's the biggest, one of the big things. The other thing is education. I want to make sure that if I am elected governor, that I can really concentrate on education, because our kids are our future. Everyone hears that. And the biggest thing is we have to think about our kids, and not just our kids, but our grandkids, because it's a trickle down effect. And mostly our law enforcement. I've worked very closely with law enforcement in the past, and first got into fire service back in 1987. So that's really telling my age and going back that far, but it's something that needs to be looked at very closely. We need way more funding for our police departments, and we need more funding for our fire departments, because a lot of fire departments are struggling on the ambulance side, which is a big concern for the residents, the citizens of Delaware, because that is what's protecting the citizens is the ambulance side and being able to provide health care.
Great. This is going out to the delegates to the convention as well as on social media. And what message would you like to give to the delegates in seeking their endorsement?
Pretty much the message is that not just myself, but we're all here for the same thing. We're all here to make a difference. I'm pushing personally myself to get in touch with as many people as possible in Newcastle County. And I'm not subtracting Kent and Sussex, but I have more of a presence in Kent and Sussex now than I do in Newcastle. And I've been spending some time up in Newcastle talking with business owners and talking with people. And I look at the delegates for their backing and their concern, because I want what is best for the state, for the citizens, and I want to be able to make a difference. I'm not a politician, so there are things I'm not familiar with, and I do things a lot differently than a lot of other people. And I'm hoping that works for me. I'm not really sure, but I want to be me throughout this whole thing. And what you see is me. What you see, I'm not trying to please anybody. I want to make sure that I stay true to myself, and that's the biggest thing in what I'm doing now.
Great. Well, thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck at the convention. David Bosco, candidate for governor.
Thank you very much.